Welcome to Stoic Flame channel.
Life, in its boundless complexity, often presents us with situations, people, and even past experiences that we cling to with an iron grip. While the idea of letting go might sound deceptively simple, it stands as one of the most profound and challenging transformations we can undertake. The act of releasing something to which we are deeply attached can feel as though we are losing a piece of our very being. Yet, the profound truth revealed through timeless wisdom and modern psychological insights is that clinging too tightly often perpetuates suffering far more than the act of letting go ever will. This journey isn't about detaching from the rich tapestry of life itself, but rather about severing the invisible emotional chains that hold us captive and prevent us from moving forward. Throughout this exploration, we will delve into 12 powerful lessons, illuminated by the profound insights of Stoic philosophy and supported by contemporary psychological understanding. These lessons will equip you with the essential tools to release what no longer serves your highest good, enabling you to step into a future with a lighter heart, a profound sense of inner peace, and a revitalized sense of purpose. Letting go is not an act of surrender or giving up. It is an act of empowerment, where you gain the freedom to redirect your focus towards what truly matters in your life. Let us embark on this transformative journey together. Lesson 1. Unlocking the power of detachment. When the term detachment is mentioned, a common misconception immediately springs to mind, that it implies apathy, indifference, or withdrawal from the vibrancy of life itself. Many mistakenly believe it means caring less, feeling less, or disengaging from the world around them. However, the profound truth of detachment, especially as understood through Stoic philosophy, is far from this cold interpretation. Detachment is not about suppressing or removing emotions. It is about liberating yourself from the compulsive need to control outcomes and circumstances that lie beyond your sphere of influence. Its essence lies in cultivating an unwavering inner peace, irrespective of the tumultuous events that may unfold around you. Attachment, ironically, often originates from a place of fear, the fear of losing cherished people, stable situations, or even aspects of our own identity. The paradox here is striking. The more desperately we cling to something, the more power it inadvertently gains over us. When we become overly attached, our happiness becomes inextricably linked to external factors, whether it's the fleeting opinions of others, the unpredictable outcome of a particular situation, or the transient nature of material possessions. Inevitably, as these external elements shift, change, or slip away, we are left vulnerable to suffering. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient wisdom, teaches us that genuine freedom stems not from wielding control over every external circumstance, but from mastering our own internal responses to those circumstances. As Epicurus, a philosopher whose wisdom resonates with Stoic principles, famously declared, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." In this profound sense, detachment doesn't imply a cessation of caring. It signifies a conscious decision to stop clinging. It means letting go of the expectation that life must perfectly conform to your desires and, instead, learning to gracefully adapt and flow with change rather than rigidly resisting it. Consider the simple analogy of holding sand in your hand. If you clench your fist too tightly, the sand will inevitably slip through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, with an open palm, it remains. This perfectly encapsulates the essence of detachment. It's not about forcefully pushing things away. It's about holding them lightly, allowing them to be without permitting them to dictate or define your inner state of being. To truly unlock this transformative power of detachment, begin by engaging in a moment of honest self-inquiry. What am I clinging to that is currently a source of stress or anxiety in my life? This could manifest in various forms, perhaps a relationship where you feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility for another person's happiness. a work situation where you obsessively attempt to micromanage every outcome, or even a persistent past event that you find impossible to release. Recognizing the object of your attachment is the crucial first step toward dismantling its hold over you. Following this recognition, the next vital practice is mindful acceptance. This doesn't equate to passive resignation or uncritically embracing everything that transpires. Instead, it signifies acknowledging those aspects of life that are inherently beyond your control and consciously choosing how you will respond to them. For instance, if someone else's behavior is causing you distress, rather than expending energy trying to alter them, shift your focus inward to establishing healthy boundaries and skillfully managing your own emotional reactions. It is entirely possible to care deeply for an individual while simultaneously maintaining a healthy and protective level of emotional detachment. Here's a practical exercise you can integrate into your daily routine. Dedicate 5 minutes each day to reflect on one specific thing you are attached to that is contributing to your stress. Ask yourself, is this something I possess the power to control, or is it something I need to release? If the answer points to something beyond your control, consciously practice mentally releasing it by repeating the affirmation, I choose to let go of what I cannot control. This deceptively simple yet powerful exercise serves to train your mind to hone in on what truly matters, freeing you from unnecessary emotional burdens. Further deepen your self-inquiry by asking, am I holding on because I genuinely care, or because I am consumed by fear of what might happen if I let go? It is critical to recognize that fear-based attachment is a direct pathway to suffering, whereas healthy detachment creates an expansive space for personal growth, profound freedom, and enduring peace. It is important to remember that detachment is not an act of abandoning people or shirking responsibilities. On the contrary, it is a deliberate and vital act of safeguarding your inner world, preventing it from being thrown into disarray by external events. It empowers you to engage fully with life, to show up authentically, but without the debilitating grip of clinging to specific outcomes. When you successfully unlock the power of detachment, you begin to experience life with enhanced clarity, greater balance, and remarkable emotional resilience. You liberate yourself from the oppressive weight of things you cannot control, thereby discovering a lighter, more peaceful way of living. Lesson 2. Stepping back for mental clarity in the whirlwind of life. When situations feel overwhelmingly complex, emotions run high, and your mind is clouded by a deluge of thoughts, it's remarkably easy to react impulsively, make regrettable decisions, or allow stress to completely take over. In these critical moments, one of the most profoundly impactful actions you can take is to consciously step back. This act of stepping back is not an evasion of responsibility or a form of avoidance. Instead, it is a strategic maneuver designed to create essential space between your immediate emotions and your subsequent actions, thereby allowing you to regain mental clarity. When you find yourself deeply entangled in the intensity of a challenging situation, everything can feel incredibly urgent and immediate. Your thoughts might race uncontrollably, your emotions can escalate rapidly, and the ability to think clearly becomes severely impaired. However, by deliberately pausing and stepping back, whether this step is physical, mental, or emotional, you afford yourself a precious opportunity to view the situation from a new, more detached perspective. This deliberate practice empowers you to respond thoughtfully and deliberately, rather than reacting on a whim or impulse. Consider the analogy of a painter. If they stand too close to their canvas, all they perceive are individual brush strokes and minor imperfections, making it exceedingly difficult to grasp the overall composition and true beauty of the artwork. But when they take a few steps back, they gain a much clearer and comprehensive view of the entire painting. The same fundamental principle applies directly to your mind. When you intentionally step back from overwhelming situations, you gain invaluable perspective. This distance allows you to perceive the problem for what it truly is, rather than seeing it through the distorted and often exaggerated lens of heightened emotions. The act of stepping back can be remarkably simple, yet highly effective. It might involve something as straightforward as taking a few deep, conscious breaths or embarking on a short, contemplative walk. Even the practice of journaling your thoughts can serve as a powerful method for stepping back. These seemingly small actions generate vital mental distance, creating a necessary buffer that allows your intense emotions to gradually settle and your mind to gracefully regain its equilibrium. Once you have successfully established this mental distance, you are in a significantly better position to thoughtfully reflect on the true nature of what is transpiring and to decide upon a response that is deeply aligned with your core values. Stoicism, as a guiding philosophy, asserts that true clarity emanates from a state of inner calmness. Marcus Aurelius, the revered Stoic emperor, encapsulated this wisdom perfectly when he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." By actively stepping back, you assert control over your own mind, resolutely refusing to permit external chaos to dictate or disturb your internal state. This is precisely where authentic strength resides, not in the futile attempt to control every situation, but in the profound ability to control how you perceive and respond to it. To put this into practical effect, the next time you feel engulfed by a challenging situation, practice the pause technique. Before you allow yourself to react, consciously pause for a brief moment, perhaps for just 10 seconds. Inhale deeply, count slowly to 10, or simply close your eyes for a moment of quiet reflection. During this brief but powerful pause, ask yourself this crucial question: what is the best response here? Focus not on the quickest or easiest path, but on the response that truly aligns with the person you aspire to be. This small yet transformative practice has the potential to dramatically enhance your capacity to make thoughtful, clear, and intentional decisions. Another highly effective method is perspective journaling. When you feel stuck, emotionally charged, or overwhelmed, dedicate 5 to 10 minutes to writing down your thoughts as if you were offering advice to a cherished friend facing the exact same situation. This exercise inherently forces you to step outside of your immediate emotional state and to view the problem from a more objective and balanced angle. Ask yourself, am I too close to this situation to see it clearly? If your honest answer is yes, then actively step back and grant yourself the necessary time and mental space for calm reflection. It is a valuable insight that not every situation demands an immediate reaction. Often, the wisest and most effective actions emerge only after moments of serene contemplation. It is crucial to remember that stepping back is never a sign of weakness. It is, unequivocally, a sign of profound wisdom. It represents a deliberate and conscious act of choosing clarity over chaos, reflection over impulsive reaction. By cultivating the habit of stepping back whenever circumstances feel overwhelming, you actively foster a calmer, more thoughtful, and ultimately more effective approach to life's myriad challenges. You learn to perceive challenges for what they truly are: temporary obstacles on your path, rather than insurmountable, permanent problems. In doing so, you reclaim invaluable control over your mind and your emotions. When you master this art of stepping back, you not only make superior decisions, but you also begin to craft a life where inner peace becomes your default state, regardless of the inevitable storms that life may cast your way. Lesson 3. Deciding when to distance yourself. Among the most challenging decisions we confront in life is discerning precisely when to create distance from certain people or specific situations. Whether it involves a draining relationship that siphons your energy, a toxic work environment that stifles your spirit, or even a personal habit that no longer serves your growth, clinging on for too long can exact a severe toll on your emotional health and overall well-being. The critical question then becomes, how do you know when it is truly time to establish that necessary distance? And, Perhaps even more importantly, how can you do so in a manner that remains consistent with your core values and meticulously preserves your invaluable peace of mind? The fundamental first step in navigating this complex decision is cultivating acute self-awareness. Begin by asking yourself, is this particular relationship or situation genuinely supporting my growth, or is it, in fact, holding me back? It is important to acknowledge that growth itself often involves a degree of discomfort. So it is essential to distinguish between a temporary, beneficial discomfort that ultimately leads to improvement and a persistent, draining negativity that consistently depletes your vital energy. If something consistently leaves you feeling anxious, unappreciated, or diminished, it is a strong indicator that the time might be ripe to consider creating some distance. A significant number of individuals grapple with the decision to distance themselves due to an overwhelming sense of guilt. You might feel an undue burden of responsibility for the feelings of others, or perhaps you worrying that establishing distance somehow labels you as a bad person. However, the profound truth is that setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It is an indispensable necessity for diligently maintaining your own well-being. Stoicism unequivocally teaches us that our control extends only to our own actions and choices, never to the actions or feelings of others. As Epicurus wisely stated, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. In this context, distancing yourself is a deliberate and courageous act of safeguarding your emotional health. It is also highly beneficial to reflect deeply on your personal values. Does remaining in this particular situation or relationship genuinely align with the person you aspire to be? Often, we find ourselves trapped in unhealthy dynamics out of sheer habit or an inherent fear of change. However, if continuing to stay means compromising your fundamental values or sacrificing your well-being, then exploring a different path becomes not just an option, but a compelling necessity. Remember, creating distance is not an act of abandoning someone or giving up on a situation. It is a conscious and empowering choice to prioritize your own peace and invaluable personal growth. Once you have arrived at the clear decision that it is indeed time to create distance, the subsequent step is to execute this process quietly and with utmost respect. There is generally no need for dramatic declarations or confrontational encounters, unless such measures are absolutely unavoidable. In a significant number of cases, simply reducing the amount of time spent with an individual or gradually disengaging from a particular situation is perfectly sufficient. This quiet, understated approach allows you to effectively protect your energy without introducing unnecessary drama or conflict into your life. Here is a practical strategy you can employ if you find yourself uncertain about whether it's truly time to distance yourself. Consider implementing a trial separation. Designate a specific period, perhaps 2 weeks, during which you intentionally limit your engagement with the person or situation in question. Throughout this trial period, meticulously observe and pay close attention to how you feel. Do you find yourself calmer, more focused, and generally at ease? Do you genuinely miss the interaction, or do you experience a profound sense of relief in its absence? This trial period can provide remarkably valuable insights, helping you determine whether establishing permanent distance is indeed the most appropriate and beneficial choice for you. Further prompt yourself with the question, am I staying out of a sense of obligation, or because this genuinely adds value to my life? If your answer strongly leans towards obligation or guilt, it is a significant signal that it might be time to take a step back. Remember, you are perfectly capable of caring deeply for someone while simultaneously choosing to protect and uphold your own boundaries. Distance does not inherently diminish love or respect. Instead, it frequently serves to preserve your essential well-being. Another crucial factor to meticulously consider is communication. While the strategy of quiet distancing proves effective in many scenarios, certain situations may necessitate an honest and direct conversation. If a relationship holds intrinsic value and is worth preserving, but clearly requires significant adjustments, then openly expressing your feelings and establishing clear boundaries becomes paramount. Sometimes, creating distance is not about severing ties completely. Rather, it is about redefining the parameters of the relationship in a manner that proves mutually beneficial and functional for both parties involved. Always remember that the decision to distance yourself is ultimately about choosing what genuinely serves your growth and holistic well-being. It is not rooted in blame or resentment. Instead, it is a strategic step towards creating vital space for clarity, profound peace, and continued personal development. When you courageously let go of what no longer serves your purpose, you simultaneously create ample room for healthier relationships, more fulfilling opportunities, and a life that resonates deeply with your authentic values. Ultimately, life is simply too short to remain ensnared in situations that continually drain your precious energy. By diligently learning when and how to distance yourself, you take an incredibly important and empowering step towards living a life imbued with greater purpose, profound peace, and unwavering self-respect. Lesson 4: Building trust through meaningful conversations when the currents of life feel overwhelming, when confusion clouds the mind. One of the most powerful and effective avenues for finding clarity and achieving emotional relief lies in engaging in deep, meaningful conversations with individuals whom you profoundly trust. Human connection, far beyond being merely a source of comfort, stands as a fundamental pathway to invaluable insight, personal growth, and profound emotional healing. The very act of verbally processing and talking through your feelings with someone you trust implicitly can provide fresh perspectives, help you challenge ingrained negative thought patterns, and even illuminate solutions that you might not have discovered independently. However, there is a crucial distinction to be made. Not every conversation has the capacity to build trust. Superficial small talk, or exchanges fraught with judgment, rarely foster genuine connection. True trust is painstakingly built and nurtured when conversations are characterized by honesty, vulnerability, and unwavering support. It thrives when both parties feel utterly safe to share their innermost thoughts and feelings without the paralyzing fear of being misunderstood or subjected to criticism. It is a delicate balance of bravely opening yourself up while simultaneously listening deeply and compassionately, entirely devoid of judgment. In the rich tapestry of Stoic philosophy, the principles of trust and open dialogue were revered as absolutely essential for cultivating personal growth. The Stoics highly valued conversations that respectfully and thoughtfully challenged their existing patterns of thinking. Seneca, one of the most eloquent Stoic philosophers, once penned this timeless advice: associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. This profound statement underscores the importance of actively seeking out individuals who actively encourage your growth and intellectual development, rather than merely surrounding yourself with those who simply echo your pre-existing thoughts and opinions. Meaningful conversations are not merely about venting or offloading emotional burdens. They are intrinsically about learning, deep reflection, and continuous evolution. To effectively build trust through these vital conversations, it is paramount to consciously cultivate an environment of mutual respect and profound empathy. This necessitates several key practices: listening attentively without interrupting the other person, validating their feelings and experiences, and offering genuine support rather than immediately jumping to unsolicited advice. Frequently, what people truly need is not a ready-made solution, but simply to feel heard, understood, and seen. A simple yet powerful affirmation such as, "I understand how you feel," or "I am here for you," can significantly contribute to strengthening the bonds of trust. If you find yourself grappling with a difficult situation and are seeking a path to greater clarity, do not hesitate to reach out to someone you implicitly trust. This trusted individual could be a close friend, a respected mentor, or even a professional counselor. The very act of articulating your thoughts aloud helps you to organize them logically, and hearing an outside perspective can often provide invaluable insights that you might have otherwise overlooked. Just ensure that the person you choose to open up to is someone who deeply respects your boundaries and offers a consistently safe space for genuine sharing. Here is a practical step you can take. Identify 1 or 2 individuals in your life whom you hold in deep trust. The next time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or emotionally burdened, reach out to them specifically for a meaningful conversation. You can initiate the conversation by saying something along these lines: "I've been feeling quite confused and overwhelmed about something recently, and I would genuinely value your perspective," or simply having someone to talk to. Framing the conversation in this manner invites them to listen with empathy without feeling an immediate pressure to solve your problem. Simultaneously, make a conscious effort to be open to offering your support when someone else approaches you with their struggles. Building trust is inherently a two-way street. It involves giving as much as it involves receiving. Practice being fully present, listening actively, and offering genuine empathy when someone shares their difficulties with you. This beautiful reciprocity deepens the connection between you and creates a solid foundation of trust that profoundly benefits both individuals. Ask yourself, do I have trusted individuals in my life with whom I can consistently engage in meaningful conversations? If your answer is affirmative, dedicate yourself to nurturing and cherishing those invaluable relationships. If not, consider actively seeking out new connections through supportive communities, various groups, or even professional networks where trust and open, honest dialogue are highly valued and encouraged. Remember, trust is not built instantaneously. It is carefully cultivated through repeated acts of vulnerability, profound empathy, and mutual understanding. By consistently engaging in meaningful conversations, you not only gain clarity and emotional relief, but you also significantly strengthen the crucial bonds that provide unwavering support through life's inevitable ups and downs. In a world increasingly characterized by superficial interactions, meaningful conversations stand as a rare and incredibly valuable gift. They serve as a powerful reminder that you are never truly alone, they help you perceive situations from fresh perspectives, and they provide the indispensable emotional support necessary to skillfully navigate challenging times. By diligently building trust and fostering open dialogue, you construct a resilient network of connection and strength that sustains you through life's inherent uncertainties. Lesson 5. Mastering emotional boundaries. Have you ever found yourself utterly overwhelmed by someone else's emotions, feeling as though you've absorbed their stress, anxiety, or negativity as if it were your very own? If this resonates with your experience, rest assured, you are far from alone. Many individuals grapple intensely with the concept of emotional boundaries, those crucial, invisible lines that serve to distinctly separate your own emotions from the emotions of others. Without these fundamental boundaries, it becomes dangerously easy to feel perpetually drained, to gradually lose your intrinsic sense of self, and to become inextricably entangled in problems that are fundamentally not yours to resolve. Mastering emotional boundaries does not imply shutting people out or cultivating an air of indifference. Rather, it signifies the vital skill of learning to meticulously protect your own emotional well-being, all while continuing to offer genuine empathy and unwavering support to those around you. When you proactively set healthy emotional boundaries, you establish a crucial and beneficial balance between caring deeply for others and diligently caring for yourself. This empowers you to extend compassion without inadvertently sacrificing your invaluable peace of mind. Why is this practice so incredibly important? Without well-defined boundaries, you run the significant risk of shouldering emotional burdens that do not belong to you. This can invariably lead to profound emotional exhaustion, simmering resentment, and even severely strained relationships. Stoic philosophy serves as a powerful reminder that while we possess the capacity to care for others, we must simultaneously maintain unwavering control over our own inner world. Epicurus's timeless wisdom, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters," applies not only to external events but profoundly to the emotions emanating from those in our orbit. You simply cannot control how others feel, but you absolutely possess the power to control the degree to which their emotions impact your own internal state. The foundational first step in mastering emotional boundaries is cultivating acute awareness. Begin by consciously noticing precisely when you are absorbing emotions that are not intrinsically yours. Ask yourself, am I feeling this way because of my own circumstances, or because I have inadvertently absorbed someone else's emotions? Recognizing when you are inadvertently breaching your own emotional boundaries is the key to decisively regaining control. Next, actively practice assertive communication. Setting boundaries is not about initiating confrontation. It is fundamentally about establishing clarity. For example, if a friend consistently unloads their problems on you in a manner that leaves you feeling utterly drained, you might assertively but kindly communicate, "I care deeply about you, and I genuinely want to support you, but I also need to prioritize my own well-being. Let's talk, but could we keep our conversation brief for now?" This empathetic yet firm approach clearly conveys your care while simultaneously stating your necessary limits. Another highly effective strategy is to employ visualization techniques. When you find yourself in a situation where emotions are running intensely high, visualize a protective, invisible barrier encircling yourself. This mental shield allows you to empathize profoundly without absorbing the emotional weight or burden. This mental practice serves to powerfully reinforce the understanding that while you can care, you are not obligated to carry the emotional burden. Here's a practical exercise you can perform the next time you feel overwhelmed by another person's emotions. Pause, take a deep, centering breath. Then, mentally separate your feelings from theirs by affirming to yourself, "Their emotions are theirs. I can care without carrying." Following this, consciously focus on grounding yourself, whether through a series of breathing exercises, engaging in mindful journaling, or taking a brief, restorative walk. Ask yourself, am I sacrificing my own emotional well-being in an attempt to support others? If your honest answer is yes, then it is vital to remind yourself that setting boundaries is never selfish, it is an absolute necessity. When you diligently protect your emotional energy, you are positioned far better to genuinely help others without succumbing to burnout. It is also crucial to remember that boundaries often require consistent reinforcement over time. Some individuals may not immediately respect your newly established boundaries, but this does not in any way invalidate their importance. Remain consistent and firm. The more regularly you practice setting and maintaining boundaries, the more readily others will learn to respect them, and crucially, the more deeply you will respect yourself. Remember, mastering emotional boundaries is a profound act of self-respect and self-care. It empowers you to show up fully and authentically for the people you cherish, without the devastating consequence of losing yourself in the process. You possess the innate capacity to be kind, empathetic, and supportive, all while diligently protecting your own inner peace. When you establish clear emotional boundaries, you liberate yourself from the crushing weight of emotions that are not yours to bear, thereby allowing you to live with significantly greater clarity, profound balance, and unwavering inner strength. Lesson 6. Weighing the outcomes of separation. There are undeniable moments in life when creating distance from certain people or specific situations becomes an absolute imperative for your well-being. Yet, arriving at such a decision is seldom easy. It is often accompanied by a torrent of doubts, intense emotions, and profound concerns about the potential consequences. Weighing the outcomes of separation is a critical and deliberate step to ensure that you are making the most appropriate choice, one that is born not out of mere impulse or fleeting frustration, but with profound clarity and a determined sense of purpose. The act of distancing yourself can manifest in various forms. It might entail bravely ending a toxic relationship that drains your spirit, courageously leaving a draining job that stifles your growth, or even consciously stepping away from a long-standing friendship that no longer genuinely aligns with your evolving values. Regardless of the specific scenario, it is absolutely essential to meticulously evaluate how this separation will impact not only your own life but also, where relevant, the lives of those closely connected to you. The ultimate objective here is not simply to escape immediate discomfort. Rather, it is to prioritize your sustained growth, profound well-being, and unwavering peace of mind. Stoic philosophy deeply emphasizes the profound importance of intentional decision-making. Before taking any significant action, the Stoics would meticulously reflect on whether a decision truly aligned with their core values and their long-term well-being. Seneca, with his characteristic wisdom, famously advised, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This powerful insight highlights that a significant portion of the fear surrounding separation is often deeply rooted in imagined, worst-case scenarios that rarely materialize. By diligently weighing the real, probable outcomes instead of succumbing to the paralysis of hypothetical fears, you are empowered to make more grounded, thoughtful, and ultimately beneficial choices. Here is a systematic approach to effectively weighing the potential outcomes of separation. Evaluate the emotional impact. Begin by honestly asking yourself, how does remaining in this situation make me feel on a daily basis? If your consistent answer points to feelings of stress, chronic anxiety, or a pervasive sense of being stuck, this serves as a strong and undeniable indicator that creating some form of distance is likely to be highly beneficial for your emotional health. Consider your long-term well-being. Reflect deeply on whether the current situation or relationship is genuinely contributing to your personal growth or, conversely, if it is actively holding you back. Ponder this crucial question: will staying here genuinely support my future goals and overall happiness, or will it continue to systematically drain my energy and vital resources? Acknowledge potential losses. It is a fundamental truth that every act of separation inevitably entails some form of loss. This loss could be emotional, social, or even financial. Be unflinchingly honest with yourself about what you might stand to lose, but then immediately follow up with this critical question: is this potential loss genuinely worth the profound peace and clarity I stand to gain? Sometimes, enduring short-term discomfort is not just necessary but absolutely essential for achieving long-term well-being and contentment. It is also vital to remember that separation does not necessarily have to be absolute or permanent. In numerous instances, merely creating a degree of distance, rather than completely severing ties, can be entirely sufficient. For example, if a relationship is primarily draining but not inherently toxic, you might consciously choose to reduce the amount of time you spend with that person or engage in fewer emotionally charged interactions. This allows you to effectively protect your well-being without completely dissolving the relationship. Here is a practical exercise you can employ when confronted with the complex decision to create distance. Try a pros and cons reflection. Take a blank sheet of paper and divide it distinctly into two columns. On one side, meticulously list all the perceived benefits of remaining in the current situation or relationship. On the opposing side, list all the anticipated benefits of actively creating distance. Visually laying out these factors can provide immense clarity and assist you in solidifying your decision. Further challenge yourself by asking, am I staying because I genuinely want to, or am I staying because I am consumed by fear of the potential consequences of leaving? If fear emerges as the primary motivator, it is unequivocally worth a serious reconsideration of your stance. Often, the fear of change is far more daunting and overwhelming than the actual change itself. Once you take that courageous step, you might very well discover that what you feared so intensely was not nearly as overwhelming as your imagination had led you to believe. Remember, weighing the outcomes of separation is not about seeking a flawless, perfect solution that eliminates all challenges. Instead, it is about consciously choosing the path that most effectively supports your personal growth and overall well-being. While no decision is entirely devoid of its own set of challenges, by investing the time to deeply reflect and meticulously evaluate, you ensure that your ultimate choice is intentional, deliberate, and profoundly aligned with your core values. Letting go is rarely an easy endeavor, but it is frequently an absolute necessity. When you carefully weigh the outcomes and make a conscious, informed decision to create distance, you courageously open the door to a lighter, freer existence. You create valuable space for new opportunities, healthier relationships, and the emergence of a version of yourself that truly thrives, unburdened by what no longer serves your highest good. Lesson 7. Detoxing from social media. And you're aware social media has seamlessly integrated itself into the very fabric of our daily lives. It is remarkably easy to fall into the insidious trap of endless scrolling, constant comparison, and passive consumption. While social media undeniably offers valuable avenues for connection with people and access to information, it simultaneously introduces a significant amount of digital noise. Pervasive distractions, often unrealistic comparisons, and even profound anxiety fueled by an relentless stream of updates. Detoxing from social media does not imply abandoning it entirely. Rather, it signifies a conscious and deliberate effort to create vital space for mental clarity, focused attention, and genuine, authentic human connection by judiciously limiting its pervasive grip on your life. The fundamental problem inherent in excessive social media usage is its tendency to keep your mind in a perpetual state of overstimulation. Every notification, every new post, or every fleeting like triggers a small but potent dopamine hit, subtly conditioning you to constantly seek more. Over time, this repetitive cycle can regrettably foster a deep-seated dependence, where moments of genuine silence or peaceful stillness begin to feel acutely uncomfortable. Yet, true and lasting peace of mind arises not from external stimulation, but from diligently learning to be present, deeply reflective, and profoundly content with your own inner being. Stoicism, with its emphasis on mindful living, underscores the immense value of focusing intently on what genuinely matters in life. Marcus Aurelius, in his profound meditations, penned this powerful reminder: you must reclaim yourself for yourself. The world distracts you with many things. Focus on a few that matter and let the rest go. Social media, while potentially a valuable tool, without mindful and intentional use, frequently serves as a powerful distraction, diverting your attention from what truly holds meaning, authentic relationships, profound inner peace, and sustained personal growth. The act of detoxing from social media can take on a multitude of forms, tailored to individual needs. For some, it might involve embarking on a complete break for a few days or even several weeks. For others, the detox could be as simple as diligently setting precise time limits on daily usage or thoughtfully unfollowing accounts that no longer genuinely add value to their lives. The overarching objective is not to eradicate social media entirely from your existence. Rather, it is to reassert control over how you choose to engage with it. Here's how to effectively initiate a social media detox. Identify your triggers. Pay close attention to when and why you instinctively reach for social media. Is it primarily out of boredom, elevated stress levels, or simply ingrained habit? Understanding your specific triggers will empower you to identify and adopt healthier, more fulfilling alternatives, such as taking a refreshing walk, immersing yourself in a good book, or engaging in reflective journaling activities that provide genuine relaxation or beneficial stimulation. Set boundaries. Establish specific, designated times during your day when you will consciously choose to check social media, rather than engaging in constant and thinking accessibility. For instance, you might decide to check it only after lunch or exclusively in the evening, thereby intentionally limiting your exposure to digital noise and its associated distractions. Curate your feed. Take proactive steps to unfollow accounts that consistently make you feel inadequate, anxious, or emotionally drained. Instead, deliberately choose to follow those accounts that genuinely inspire you, uplift your spirits, or offer valuable educational content. Your digital environment, much like your physical one, should consciously reflect your core values rather than subtly undermining them. Here's a practical experiment you can try. Commit to a 24-hour social media detox. For one entire day, conscientiously avoid all social media platforms. Utilize this newfound time to actively engage in offline activities, spend quality time with loved ones, dedicate energy to a personal hobby, or simply relish in moments of quiet solitude. At the conclusion of this day, reflect deeply on how you genuinely feel. Did you miss anything of significant importance, or did you experience a greater sense of presence, reduce stress levels, and enhance focus? Ask yourself, am I using social media intentionally, or is it, in fact, using me? If you discover that social media is consuming more of your precious time and vital energy than you desire, then make a firm commitment to establishing healthier and more sustainable boundaries. Remember, you are not obligated to relinquish social media entirely. You simply need to ensure that it consistently serves your best interests rather than exerting control over you. Detoxing from social media is not about isolating yourself. It is profoundly about reconnecting with what truly matters. By intentionally reducing digital noise, you create vital space for deeper, more meaningful conversations, richer life experiences, and a greater sense of profound peace of mind. You learn to be fully present and engaged in your own life, rather than constantly observing the meticulously curated highlight reels of others. When you consciously take control over how you engage with social media, you reclaim your precious time, your valuable focus, and your inner calm. You liberate yourself from the relentless cycle of comparison and pervasive distraction, thereby making ample room for what truly matters: authentic connection, meaningful personal growth, and the quiet, yet powerful moments that profoundly shape who you are. Lesson 8. Prioritizing your core needs in the relentless rush and ceaseless demands of everyday life. It is remarkably easy to lose sight of what genuinely matters most. Caught between an endless array of work obligations, numerous social commitments, and a constant barrage of distractions, your fundamental core needs, those essential elements that truly nourish your emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being, often get regrettably pushed aside. However, here lies a profound truth. If you fail to prioritize your own core needs, no one else will consistently do it for you. Therefore, diligently learning to identify and consciously prioritize what genuinely sustains you is absolutely essential for constructing a truly balanced and deeply fulfilling life. Many individuals inadvertently conflate wants with needs. While wants are typically transient desires such as fleeting entertainment, external validation, or the acquisition of material possessions, your core needs are far more profound and foundational. They represent the indispensable elements that keep you grounded, genuinely fulfilled, and consistently energized. These could encompass a diverse range of necessities, such as fostering meaningful relationships, dedicating quiet time for profound self-reflection, engaging in creative expression, or even embracing seemingly simple yet crucial activities like consistently getting sufficient sleep and spending restorative time immersed in nature. Stoicism, a philosophy deeply rooted in practicality, instructs us to focus intently on what is truly essential and to courageously let go of what is superfluous or unnecessary. Epicurus, a philosopher whose wisdom aligns with this Stoic tenet, articulated this beautifully: wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This timeless wisdom serves as a powerful reminder that genuine fulfillment does not arise from relentlessly chasing after more and more, but rather from diligently nurturing the fundamental essentials that profoundly sustain our inner well-being. To effectively prioritize your core needs, begin by engaging in a moment of honest introspection. What are the specific things that genuinely make me feel alive and deeply at peace? These are often the very things that, when neglected over time, invariably leave you feeling drained, disconnected, or profoundly unfulfilled. For instance, if nurturing quality time with loved ones constitutes a fundamental core need for you, then consistently prioritizing work over these vital relationships will, without doubt, eventually lead to pervasive feelings of isolation and deep dissatisfaction. Once you have clearly identified your core needs, the crucial next step is to intentionally carve out dedicated time for them. On a daily basis, this might translate into consciously setting aside specific time for self-care, learning to politely decline commitments that do not align with your core values, or establishing firm, healthy boundaries between your work and personal life. Remember this unequivocally: prioritizing your needs is not an act of selfishness. It is, in fact, an absolute necessity. When your fundamental needs are consistently met, you are then in a far superior position to show up fully, authentically, and effectively for the people and responsibilities that comprise your life. Here's a simple, yet powerful exercise. Create a comprehensive list of your top 5 core needs. Next to each identified need, write down one small, actionable step you can commit to taking this week to prioritize that specific need. For example, if adequate rest is a core need for you, your actionable step might be committing to going to bed 30 minutes earlier each night. If creative expression is another core need, your action might involve setting aside one dedicated hour to work on a personal project. The key to success here lies in starting small, being consistent, and building momentum over time. Ask yourself, am I living in a way that truly honors my core needs, or am I constantly sacrificing them for external demands and expectations? If your honest reflection indicates the latter, then it is vital to gently remind yourself that no external achievement, no amount of validation from others, can ever truly replace the profound sense of wholeness and inner peace that arises from diligently meeting your true, fundamental needs. It is also incredibly important to release any lingering guilt when you choose to prioritize your needs. Many individuals experience a sense of guilt when they dedicate time to themselves, feeling as though they are neglecting their responsibilities. However, diligently taking care of yourself is not neglect. On the contrary, it is precisely what enables you to fulfill your responsibilities effectively and sustainably, without succumbing to debilitating burnout. When you consciously prioritize your own well-being, you not only profoundly improve your own life, but you also show up in a better, more engaged capacity for those around you. Remember, life is not inherently about ceaselessly doing more. It is profoundly about doing what truly matters. By consistently prioritizing your core needs, you establish an unshakable foundation of balance, inner strength, and profound peace. You cease the exhausting pursuit of things that do not genuinely fulfill you and instead begin to live in a manner that deeply nourishes your body, mind, and soul. When you consistently make time for what genuinely matters, you do not merely enhance your quality of life. You become more present, more resilient, and more deeply connected to your authentic purpose. It is precisely then that life transcends mere management and becomes something you truly, deeply enjoy. Lesson 9. Embracing gratitude and the present moment in a world that incessantly pressures us to perpetually crave more success. More material possessions, more recognition. It is remarkably easy to fall into the pervasive trap of fixating on what is perceived to be missing, rather than truly acknowledging and appreciating what is already wonderfully present. This relentless and often unsatisfying pursuit frequently culminates in persistent feelings of dissatisfaction, heightened anxiety, and an unceasing restlessness. However, there exists a simple yet profoundly transformative antidote to this predicament: gratitude. When you diligently learn to embrace gratitude and purposefully anchor yourself in the present moment, you fundamentally shift your perspective from a mindset of lack to one of abundant appreciation, from a constant state of striving to a peaceful state of simply being. Gratitude is not about ignoring life's inherent challenges or pretending that everything is perfectly idyllic. Instead, it is about consciously recognizing and acknowledging the inherent good that already exists in your life, even amidst difficulties and trials. It involves cultivating a deep appreciation for the small, often overlooked moments, a kind and thoughtful word from a friend, the serene beauty of a peaceful morning, or the simple yet profound fact that you have another day to grow, learn, and experience the richness of life. When your focus shifts from what you perceive to be lacking to what you undeniably possess, you cultivate a powerful mindset of abundance and profound inner peace. Stoicism places immense emphasis on the profound importance of appreciating the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, famously advised, "Do not dwell on the past or dream of the future, but concentrate the mind on the present moment." The Stoics firmly believe that genuine contentment does not stem from what you achieve or acquire, but from fully and completely experiencing the here and now. Gratitude serves as a powerful means of grounding yourself firmly in the present. It serves as a gentle yet potent reminder that despite life's inevitable imperfections, there is always, unequivocally, something to be profoundly thankful for. Practicing gratitude does not need to be an overly complicated endeavor. One particularly powerful method is to begin or conclude your day by consciously reflecting on 3 specific things for which you are deeply grateful. These do not have to be grand or extraordinary. Quite often, the simplest things bring forth the greatest sense of profound peace. Over time, this consistent practice diligently trains your mind to instinctively notice the good, even when life's circumstances feel overwhelmingly challenging. Beyond the practice of gratitude, embracing the present moment necessitates courageously letting go of past regrets and any lingering worries about the future. The past is immutable and cannot be altered, and the future, by its very nature, remains uncertain. What you truly possess control over is the present moment, the choices you make right now, the actions you take in this instant, and the way you choose to experience this very moment. When you liberate yourself from the incessant dwelling on what has been or the obsessive preoccupation with what might be, you courageously free yourself to fully and authentically live in the now. Here's a practical exercise you can try. The next time you feel consumed by stress or overwhelmed by a situation, pause for a moment, take a deep, conscious breath, and deliberately look around you. Then, consciously find anything that you can genuinely appreciate in that specific moment. It could be the gentle warmth of sunlight on your skin, the comforting aroma and taste of your morning coffee, or even simply acknowledging the inner strength you have demonstrated in navigating a difficult situation. This simple yet potent act of mindful gratitude helps to firmly ground you and brings a profound sense of calm to your mind. Ask yourself, am I primarily focusing on what is missing from my life, or am I truly appreciating what is already present? If you notice that your mind frequently leans towards a sense of lack, make a conscious and determined effort to shift your focus towards gratitude. This is not about ignoring your aspirations or desires. It is about cultivating a healthy balance between setting goals and simultaneously appreciating the abundance you already possess. Another powerful way to remain rooted in the present is by consistently practicing mindfulness, whether through formal meditation, deliberate deep breathing exercises, or simply by being fully engaged in whatever activity you are currently undertaking. Mindfulness serves to help you slow down, allowing you to truly savor life's precious moments. It is about diligently noticing the intricate details, the sensation of the air on your skin, the subtle sound of the wind, the unique texture of the food you are eating. These small, deliberate acts of presence infuse everyday life with profound richness and depth. Remember, life is not experienced in the past or in the future. It is lived exclusively in the present moment. By wholeheartedly embracing gratitude and consistently anchoring yourself in the now, you liberate yourself from the relentless and often exhausting pursuit of more and discover profound peace in what simply is. You come to the powerful realization that while life may never achieve a state of perfect flawlessness, it can still be extraordinarily beautiful when you make the conscious choice to notice and genuinely appreciate it. Ultimately, gratitude and presence are not merely practices, they are transformative mindsets. When you diligently cultivate them, you actively create a life permeated with more profound joy, significantly less anxiety, and a deeper, more meaningful connection to what truly matters. So, take a moment, breathe deeply, and gently ask yourself, what can I sincerely appreciate right now? You might be astonished by the sheer abundance of things for which to be truly grateful. Lesson 10. Cultivating flexibility and adaptability. Life, by its very nature, is inherently unpredictable. No matter how meticulously you plan or how ardently you strive to control every outcome, unexpected changes will invariably arise. It is precisely in these moments when circumstances deviate from your meticulously laid plans that your innate ability to adapt profoundly determines whether you will ultimately thrive or succumb to suffering. Cultivating flexibility is not an act of abandoning your goals or lowering your standards. It is, rather, the indispensable skill of learning to skillfully adjust your approach, maintain composure in the face of uncertainty, and uncover profound growth within every challenge you encounter. Many individuals instinctively resist change because it inherently feels uncomfortable and unsettling. We gravitate towards stability, cherish predictability, and desire a sense of control. However, rigidity in the face of inevitable change serves only to create unnecessary and prolonged suffering. When you steadfastly refuse to adapt, you find yourself clinging desperately to what once was, instead of gracefully embracing what is now. This ingrained resistance frequently leads to pervasive frustration, heightened anxiety, and a debilitating sense of helplessness. Conversely, when you diligently cultivate flexibility, you learn to gracefully flow with life's ever-changing currents, discovering new and unforeseen paths forward even when circumstances unfold entirely differently than anticipated. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that directly addresses this crucial topic. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This profound idea powerfully underscores the paramount importance of flexibility, not as a means to evade change, but as a mastery over your own internal response to it. When you wholeheartedly accept that change is an inevitable constant and diligently learn to adapt with grace and poise, you are able to consistently maintain your inner peace and unwavering clarity, regardless of the unpredictable challenges that life may throw your way. Flexibility fundamentally begins with a conscious shift in your mindset. Instead of perceiving change as a daunting threat, actively choose to view it as a fertile opportunity for profound growth. Every unexpected event, every setback, no matter how daunting, inherently holds a valuable lesson if you are willing to diligently seek it out. Ask yourself, what valuable lesson can I extract from this situation? How can I personally grow through navigating this particular challenge? This pivotal shift in perspective empowers you to remain open to novel possibilities, rather than becoming stubbornly stuck in the frustration of what didn't go according to your original plan. Another critical element in cultivating flexibility is the development of emotional resilience. Life's changes frequently trigger a spectrum of powerful emotions: fear, frustration, or profound disappointment. Instead of allowing these emotions to overwhelm you, practice consciously pausing, acknowledging precisely how you feel, and then thoughtfully choosing a response that is deeply aligned with your core values. Emotional resilience does not imply ignoring your feelings. Rather, it signifies processing them in a healthy and constructive manner while consistently remaining grounded and clear-headed. Here's a practical framework you can immediately implement when confronted with an unexpected change. Practice the 3 A's: accept, assess, adapt. Accept. Acknowledge that the change has, in fact, occurred. Resisting it will not reverse its reality. Assess. Diligently evaluate the new situation. What are your available options, and what specific aspects remain within your sphere of control? Adapt. To choose the best possible course of action based on what you can control. This straightforward framework empowers you to respond to change thoughtfully and strategically, rather than reacting impulsively out of fear or frustration. Ask yourself, am I clinging to something that no longer genuinely serves my growth, or am I truly willing to adapt and courageously move forward? If you find yourself consistently resisting change, gently remind yourself that flexibility does not equate to giving up. It signifies discovering a new and viable way to persevere. Life is an incessantly evolving process, and your capacity to evolve gracefully alongside it is precisely what leads to lasting success and profound peace of mind. Cultivating flexibility also encompasses maintaining an open mind to new perspectives and innovative ideas. Sometimes, we become stuck because we rigidly insist on doing things in a singular, predetermined way or cling to the belief that only one specific path will lead to success. However, when you are genuinely willing to listen, learn, and experiment with new approaches, you unlock doors to opportunities you might never have even considered. Remember, flexibility is not a weakness, it is a profound strength. It is the remarkable ability to bend without breaking, to gracefully adjust your course without losing your fundamental sense of purpose. Much like trees that sway gently in the wind are far less likely to snap during a fierce storm, those who diligently cultivate flexibility are exceptionally better equipped to skillfully navigate life's inevitable ups and downs. Ultimately, life is an intricate series of continuous changes. By diligently cultivating flexibility and adaptability, you learn to navigate those changes with unwavering confidence and profound grace. You cease the futile struggle against what you cannot control and instead wholeheartedly focus on what you undeniably can: your mindset, your actions, and your unwavering ability to consistently move forward. In doing so, you actively create a life characterized by profound resilience, continuous growth, and lasting inner peace. Lesson 11: Fostering empathy and generosity in a fast-paced world where the prevailing focus often seems to be singularly on personal goals and individual success. It is remarkably easy to overlook the profound and transformative impact of empathy and generosity. Yet, these two exceptional qualities possess the remarkable power to not only profoundly transform your relationships but also to bring a greater sense of meaning and deep fulfillment to your very existence. Fostering empathy and diligently practicing generosity are not indicators of weakness. On the contrary, they are powerful expressions of profound inner strength and unwavering self-respect. Empathy is defined as the profound ability to understand and genuinely share the feelings of others. It extends far beyond merely acknowledging someone's experience. It deeply involves truly listening without judgment and offering sincere, heartfelt support. When you actively foster empathy, you significantly strengthen your connections with everyone around you. People feel genuinely seen, truly heard, and deeply valued, which in turn nurtures trust and cultivates deeper, more authentic relationships. While Stoicism is often associated with personal resilience and inner fortitude, it also prominently highlights the crucial importance of actively contributing to the well-being of others. Marcus Aurelius, again, offered timeless wisdom: what benefits the whole benefits the individual. In essence, by consistently acting in ways that uplift and benefit others, you simultaneously uplift and benefit yourself. Empathy is not solely about assisting others. It is intrinsically about actively creating a world where mutual respect and profound compassion can flourish, a world that ultimately benefits everyone, including you. Generosity, on the other hand, extends far beyond the mere act of giving material possessions. It is fundamentally about generously giving your time, your undivided attention, your genuine kindness, and your acquired wisdom. True generosity stems from a deep-seated place of abundance, rather than from a burdensome sense of obligation. When you give freely and wholeheartedly, without any expectation of receiving something in return, you cultivate a powerful mindset of abundance and concurrently reduce any lingering feelings of scarcity or lack. Here is a thought to deeply reflect upon. When was the last time you consciously demonstrated empathy or practiced an act of generosity without any expectation of reciprocity? These small, yet impactful acts, whether it's actively listening to a friend with full presence, extending help to a struggling colleague, or simply offering a kind and encouraging word to someone in need, create positive ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment. They serve to uplift not only the individual receiving the act but also, profoundly, the one who is giving. It is crucial to understand that fostering empathy and practicing generosity does not equate to neglecting your own well-being. In fact, the journey of empathy fundamentally begins with yourself. If you find yourself constantly giving without diligently taking care of your own needs, you will inevitably experience emotional depletion and ultimately feel resentful. This is precisely why practicing self-compassion is so vital. Being kind to yourself when you are struggling, forgiving yourself when you inevitably make mistakes, and treating yourself with the very same empathy and understanding that you so readily offer to others. Another profoundly powerful aspect of generosity is its inherent capacity to shift your focus outward. When you are deeply consumed by your own worries and concerns, actively giving to others, whether through dedicated volunteering, committed mentoring, or simply being fully present and supportive, can significantly help to alleviate anxiety and markedly increase your sense of purpose. Generosity creates a virtuous cycle of positivity. The more you generously give, the more connected and genuinely fulfilled you feel. Here's a practical habit you can integrate into your daily life. Actively seek out one opportunity each day to practice a small act of empathy or generosity. This could be as simple as truly listening to someone without interrupting them, offering proactive help when you notice someone struggling, or even just sending a thoughtful and supportive message to someone you care about. These seemingly small acts, when performed consistently, gradually build a powerful habit of empathy and generosity that profoundly strengthens your character and immeasurably enriches your relationships. Ask yourself, am I approaching my interactions with genuine empathy, or am I focused solely on my own perspective and needs? If you notice yourself slipping into self-centered thinking, pause deliberately and make a conscious effort to perceive things from the other person's point of view. This simple yet transformative shift can fundamentally alter the way you relate to others and foster deeper, far more meaningful connections. Remember, fostering empathy and diligently practicing generosity are not about grand, sweeping gestures. They are fundamentally about showing up with authentic kindness and profound understanding in the everyday moments of life. When you consciously make empathy and generosity a core and unwavering part of your life, you not only profoundly improve your relationships but also cultivate an enduring sense of purpose, deep fulfillment, and lasting inner peace. Ultimately, what truly matters in life is not the quantity of things you accumulate, but the depth and breadth of your contribution. By consistently fostering empathy and practicing generosity, you actively create a life filled with profound connection, deep meaning, and lasting impact. You transcend merely living for yourself. You become a source of light, strength, and positive influence for everyone around you. And in doing so, you uncover a deeper, more profound sense of genuine happiness and fulfillment. Lesson 12. Nourishing your mind and body in a world that incessantly demands your attention, your energy, and your effort. It is tragically easy to neglect the most fundamental foundation of a truly fulfilling life, your mind and body. We often push ourselves relentlessly to the absolute limits, prioritizing external achievements and fleeting accomplishments over our vital internal well-being. Only too late do we discover that without proper and consistent care, our energy inevitably fades, our focus drastically diminishes, and our precious peace of mind quietly slips away. Therefore, nourishing your mind and body is not a luxury. It is an absolute necessity for living a balanced, resilient, and deeply meaningful life. When you diligently take care of your body, you are not merely enhancing your physical health. You are simultaneously and directly supporting your mental clarity, your emotional stability, and your overall sense of well-being. Exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest are not merely physical acts. They profoundly influence how you feel, how you think, and how effectively you respond to life's inevitable challenges. Seneca, the wise Stoic philosopher, concisely stated, "A sound mind and a sound body is a short but full description of a happy state." In this world, the Stoics firmly believed that a disciplined and intentional approach to caring for your physical body was absolutely essential for cultivating a strong and resilient mind. Nourishing your mind extends far beyond simply consuming information. It is about thoughtfully feeding your mind with ideas, thoughts, and practices that actively promote profound growth and deep peace. This necessitates being remarkably intentional about the content you choose to read, watch, and listen to. It involves actively engaging in practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and quiet reflection, which collectively help to calm your mind and significantly strengthen your ability to focus amidst distractions. Begin by honestly asking yourself, what habits do I currently engage in that genuinely nourish my mind and body, and what habits might, in fact, be draining me of vital energy? Identifying these patterns is the crucial first step toward proactively creating a lifestyle that consistently and powerfully supports your holistic well-being. For example, staying up late endlessly scrolling through social media might appear harmless in the short term, but over time, it can profoundly disrupt your sleep patterns, drain your energy reserves, and leave your mind feeling cluttered and unfocused. Conversely, consistently prioritizing adequate rest, regular exercise, and dedicated quiet time for reflection can have a profound and transformative impact on your mood, your overall productivity, and your innate resilience. One of the simplest yet most profoundly effective ways to nourish your body is through movement. This does not necessarily translate to intense, grueling workouts at a gym. It could be something as accessible as a brisk morning walk, gentle stretching, or any form of physical activity that effectively gets your blood flowing and significantly elevates your energy levels. Regular movement not only demonstrably improves your physical health but also triggers the release of endorphins, which are natural mood boosters and powerful stress reducers. Equally important for your well-being is nutrition. The food you choose to consume serves as the very fuel upon which your body and mind operate. Consistently eating a balanced diet, rich in whole and processed foods, provides your brain with the essential nutrients it requires to function at its absolute best. It is not about striving for dietary perfection. It is about making small, consistent, and conscious choices that steadfastly support your long-term health and vitality. When it comes to nourishing your mind, quiet time and deliberate reflection are absolutely key. In a world perpetually inundated with constant noise and endless distractions, dedicating time each day to simply be still, whether through focused meditation, profound journaling, or simply sitting quietly in contemplation, helps to effectively clear your mind and significantly strengthens your ability to remain present. These invaluable moments of stillness provide an opportunity to process your thoughts, release accumulated tension, and consciously reconnect with what truly matters most to you. Here's a practical commitment you can make each day. Dedicate yourself to one small act that genuinely nourishes your mind and one distinct act that nourishes your body. This could be as simple as reading a chapter of an inspiring book, practicing deep breathing exercises for just 5 minutes, or consciously preparing a healthy and nutritious meal. Over time, these seemingly small, consistent acts will compound, gradually creating a powerful lifestyle that comprehensively supports your overall well-being. Ask yourself, am I truly treating my mind and body with the profound respect they inherently deserve? If your answer is no, then commit to starting now, today. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Diligently taking care of yourself is never selfish. It is, in fact, precisely what enables you to show up fully and effectively in life, both for yourself and for those you deeply care about. Ultimately, your mind and body represent your most valuable and irreplaceable assets. When you nourish them consistently and intentionally, you cultivate a life characterized by profound strength, unwavering clarity, and enduring inner peace. You equip yourself to skillfully handle life's challenges with remarkable resilience and profound grace. By consciously making your well-being an unequivocal priority, you don't just live, you truly thrive. And that is when life genuinely becomes rich, deeply meaningful, and profoundly fulfilling. Having explored every facet of this story, it's time to open our hearts and embrace the liberating power of letting go. Letting go is not an act of surrender or giving up. It is fundamentally about creating expansive space for something inherently better to enter your life. It is about courageously liberating yourself from the oppressive weight of what no longer serves your highest good, whether that pertains to certain people, draining situations, unhelpful habits, or even outdated versions of your own identity. When you consciously let go of the things that hold you back, you gain invaluable clarity, profound inner peace, and the empowered ability to move forward with clear intention and purpose. Throughout this comprehensive exploration, we have delved into 12 powerful lessons designed to guide you on how to master the art of letting go and cultivate a life imbued with greater balance and profound fulfillment. From unlocking the transformative power of detachment and embracing flexibility, to nurturing meaningful connections and prioritizing your core needs, each lesson offers practical, actionable strategies to reclaim your vital energy and consciously refocus on what truly matters most to you. Life is an ever-changing landscape, filled with constant shifts and unforeseen turns. However, by diligently learning to let go with grace and strength, you empower yourself to face those changes head-on, without succumbing to fear or apprehension. Why does this profound practice matter so deeply? Because stubbornly clinging tightly to people, rigid expectations, or even past iterations of ourselves only leads to pervasive frustration and continuous suffering. But when you consciously and courageously learn to let go, you unlock a deeper sense of profound freedom and unwavering inner peace. You cease to be a prisoner to the circumstances and outcomes that lie beyond your control and instead begin to live with greater purpose, presence, and authentic engagement. Here is a final, powerful reflection to carry with you. What is one significant thing I am truly ready to let go of today? This does not necessitate a grand, sweeping gesture. It could be something as seemingly small as a nagging negative thought, a minor frustration that has been bothering you, or an unnecessary habit that no longer serves your well-being. Understand that every small, deliberate step towards letting go creates a profound ripple effect, systematically helping you to cultivate a life that feels lighter, freer, and more deeply aligned with your true values. Remember, the act of letting go is a continuous practice, not a singular, one-time event. It demands immense courage, unwavering patience, and profound self-compassion. However, with each quiet and intentional release, you consciously create valuable space for new growth, deeper connection, and a life permeated with greater joy. As the wise Marcus Aurelius so eloquently stated, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. May this journey inspire you to embrace the wisdom of letting go and cultivate a life overflowing with clarity, profound peace, and unwavering purpose. Stay strong, stay intentional, and most importantly, keep letting go of what no longer serves you, so you can make ample room for what truly, unequivocally matters. If you're finding value in this video, hit subscribe to become a Stoic Flame member. I'm grateful you tuned in. Head over to my channel and watch more videos to keep your inner fire burning.